Prologue. Bailand stood on Molly's Peak, looking down at the river he loved. The Cub River runs through the canyon near Preston, Idaho. He had so many memories of this canyon, but had never seen its magnificence from this vantage point. Furry grass and trees rolled out in a rippling blanket of earth, stretching on for miles in front of him beneath the expanse of sky. Closer mountain ranges showed folds in the blanket, crunching up in crevices and clusters of deeper, richer greens. Pale colors dotted the landscape, flowers, rocks, or patches of bare ground. With a screeching call, a bird passed overhead, racing its shadow along the countryside. Bailand's gaze followed it out to the lighter pastel colors in the distant mountains, blending in the thinning atmosphere and curvature of the earth. Bailand exhaled. At the end of the leash dangling loose from his hand, his little black dog reacted to his sigh, looking adoringly at him from her place at his feet. He smiled down at her and scratched her ears. Removing a water bottle from his backpack, he leaned down to give her a drink. She drank gratefully and turned her dark eyes back to him. Her tail wagged her entire body, her pink tongue hanging out the side of her mouth as she followed him up to the highest rock he could find. He took a seat there and brought out his phone. Bailand smiled in surprise. He had reception. After sending out a quick text, Bailand put away his phone to further take in the tranquil expanse. He sat there for a long time as the clouds took turns passing over the sun. With a sigh, he repeated the words from his text quietly to himself. Talk about a view. Below, in the shadow of the mountainside, the river frothed and raged. Made deep and angry by spring overflow, the water echoed in a static roar through the trees. Passers-by usually ignored its constant hushing rush, but over the next 2 days, many people became keenly aware of its hungry froth. The river's anger would finally ebb enough to recede a couple inches, just enough to expose the tips of Bailand's still, cold toes.